15 minutes it will be then. Let's see what unfolds.
The car's back, ready to take their grid positions, and that nice colours of the 52 Clive Hainsford RX8, which he described to us as his original short oval colours from his early hot rod racing days.
I think he had quite a good choice back then, because they're pleasant colours, those cars, the way that car looks.
Nick Gwinnett in the plain red Clio, number 14 alongside on the front row, and then second row the very quick Nova of Craig Tomkinson in white with a little bit of red, and then the all blue 106 of Andrew Neil, number 26.
Yeah, you're right, the Subaru is not there on the back of the grid.
And through the binoculars I was assuming that white and green car was Will de Claudio, but I can't see the number.
17 or something like that. It is 17, that's Will de Claudio then. That is him back there.
So it is him, good. So watch out for the white and green 106 from the back of the grid coming through after a retirement in the first race. And row 3 is an all Civic row with the black and green on the inside of Peter Dunmore and the silver of Alex D. Moore on the outside.
Red lights are on.
And away we go for our 15-minute race, and Will de Claudio on the grass. The rally is next month, Will, not this month. But he gets past one car. That's but he's got.
I don't think it was actually his fault that he was on the grass. The gap just wasn't big enough. Was it?
No, it's pretty dry, isn't it? Everybody seems to get around. There's a little bit of dust kicked up with a couple of wide moments at Redgate, but everybody got round.
It's a good start from Tim Allen as well down here in front of us. The number 8 car. He made up a couple of cars' places as they went away from us.
Down into the old hairpin for the first time, and the contrast disappearing on our camera now as the sun goes down. But the
Mazda.
The Mazda, that's not in the lead. So who was in the lead?
I don't know, but the Mazda was on the grass for sure.
Nick Gwinnett leads. Second place is the Nova of Craig Tomkinson, and in third place is the 106 of Andrew Neil. So what has happened to the Mazda? Well, it's in about 6th place.
Yeah, well, it's just a little bit of a moment. I think they're coming out of the hairpin, wasn't it?
And he's back on track okay, so he's trying to make his way back through again. So a bit of hard work for Clive Hainsford now to get back into the lead if he wants to.
I was trying to pick out de Claudio, but it's such a job looking up there with the sun, the low afternoon sun. You get a lot of glistening from the cars. Here they come back across the stripe then.
So it's leading Nick Gwinnett in the Renault Clio. Second place Craig Tomkinson looking for that lead, goes through on the inside, very quick down the pit straight, takes the lead going into Redgate for the second time. So leading now is number 85 Craig Tomkinson, second place 14 Nick Gwinnett, third is 26 Andrew Neil, and in fourth place is Alex D. Moore, the silver Civic.
Claudio up to 16th for the 17 car.
And the pole position car of Clive Hainsford after that moment down at the old hairpin came through in 5th place.
Yeah, down a place that time.
So they're down at the old hairpin at the moment, and looking on the camera everybody seems to get through. No sideways moment for Clive Hainsford this time. Holds the car in line, so they're heading now up the hill into McLean's, and it's Tomkinson who leads from Gwinnett, from Neil, and in 4th place DeMoore, and still in 5th place Clive Hainsford as they run along the top towards Coppice, the highest point of the circuit. Hainsford goes through into 4th on braking for Coppice, and so it's the order is now Tomkinson, Gwinnett, Neil and Hainsford as they come down past the exhibition centre into the Roberts chicane for the second time. And through they come from there. Nick Gwinnett not losing touch with Craig Tomkinson. Third place is 26 Andrew Neil, then the RX8 of Clive Hainsford, who goes through into third place on the rundown into Redgate. Quite a big puff of smoke as he comes off the throttle there on overrun. And
de Claudio's just put in the quickest lap at 1:20, down in 11th now, up from 16th in a lap.
So he's making good progress.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Hainsford car wasn't actually a particularly quick lap. It was a 1:21.589, which is his best of the race so far, but it was nothing to really set the world alight. But he certainly did a quicker lap than the other guys around him. That was what's caused that, I think, because the others are in the 1:22s and 1:24s.
He did a 1:20.9 in the first race, so he is capable of doing a bit quicker, but of course he is coming through traffic, or was on that lap. He's closing up now on second placed Nick Gwinnett, so the leader turns out onto the exhibition straight, and it's still Craig Tomkinson who leads in the Vauxhall Nova. Second place still Nick Gwinnett in the red Renault Clio. Then it's Clive Hainsford in the Mazda as they turn into the chicane along the pit straight once again. The first three come through. Then it's the 26 Andrew Neil 106 and the 33 205 of Chris Bassett. Will Di Claudio goes through. What position is he in then?
Up to 8th now.
8th position, and he gets through almost past two cars going into Redgate, but thinks better of it.
Personal best lap of 1:24.69, fastest lap's a 1:21.97, so he's on the pace. Tomkinson holds that fastest lap out there at the front.
Like Sainsbury's car park down here with all 106s and Fiestas all going past.
Looks like we may have lost, oh no, McGuinness has just gone through to complete 3 laps. Collins, the number 40 car, hasn't yet come through, so I don't know whether he stopped out there somewhere, or is this him coming now very slowly? He's coming into the pit lane, I think, and yes, it is the number 40 car. So still 32 cars out there on track. No split screen times, have we, today, which is quite interesting sometimes. 0.81 of a second, that's come down a little bit. Gwinnett a little bit closer this time. Alistair, do you think he's got the legs or not?
Well, he's yeah, the Mazda seems to be dropping back.
There was a bit of puff of smoke again from the Mazda.
Will Di Claudio's up into 4th place. He got past the 2 cars down on the pit straight, so Will Di Claudio passes Neil and Bassett in one fell swoop, moves up to 4th place.
Well, Gwinnett just puts in the fastest lap of the race technically at 1:19.864, but then that was taken away from him by Di Claudio at 1:19.4. So Di Claudio back down. In fact, I think that's always quicker than you said he did this morning, so, or in the earlier race. So very much on the case.
He did a 1:18.7 in qualifying.
Yeah.
Will Di Claudio, but of course he didn't set a time in the race because he pulled out.
That's right. He was on the green flag lap, wasn't he? Another car into pit lane. 888. That is. That's the Demore car. So that's a bit of a demise. Alan Demore off the 3rd row of the grid, suffering some sort of mechanical problem.
RX7 doesn't look to be terribly happy past us here. He's just not pushing on like he was in the first race, and that puff of smoke once again as he comes off the throttle.
1:18.3 for Di Claudio.
Well, that's quicker than he did in qualifying. 1:18.7 was his best.
1:18.397 if you want to be on the nose with it, but Di Claudio then in 4th position, closing that gap down a little bit. Gwinnett and Tomkinson are separated by 1.25 seconds. Then Hainsford was 2.884 seconds further down. We need to just keep our eye on that perhaps this time, because Di Claudio was then a further 2.7 seconds down on Hainsford. So if there's a problem in there for the Mazda, we may be able to see it on the screen.
Although Di Claudio's almost caught Hainsford up at Coppice.
Yeah, that gap's disappeared, hasn't it? So
Gwinnett looks to be a little bit closer to Tomkinson as well. It doesn't look like a second.
This is a bit tight, this little battle going across the line as well. The 74 car on the back. He's making all the moves.
That was a bit of a switcheroo down the pit straight.
There's the 2 leaders over the line, Tomkinson and Gwinnett into pit lane has come. I think that's the 95 car, and there's De Claudio and the Mazda side by side as they go down towards Redgate. The Mazda's just got the legs, it looks like, onto the brakes. They both hit the brakes about the same time, and I don't think there'll be any movement there, but De Claudio starting to unleash his pack of cards, I think, on that Mazda. Showing the ace maybe just a little bit too early. 1:18.3, that was the lap from before for De Claudio, so that wasn't, in fact that was a rather poor lap when you look at it. It was a 1:19.9, so nearly into the 20s. Obviously a bit of traffic, and
he's through. De Claudio
has he gone through?
Yeah, he's passed Hainsford down at the far end of the circuit. Hainsford looks to be slow. I would suspect he will come into the pits this time around.
Oh yeah, he's knocked it on the head altogether, hasn't he? If he gets that far, I think he's looking at the speed that he just disappeared out of our sight going into Coppice. Look.
Here come 3 drivers vying for the next best parking space at Sainsbury's. Heading down to Redgate. And the leader goes through, and it's Tomkinson from Gwinnett, and now third is De Claudio from the back of the grid. So what have we got? Just over 5 minutes, and that last lap he was around the same pace as the leaders.
As the leaders, 7.5 seconds down on the race leader and 6 seconds down on the second place man. Now just notice that Tomkinson also, whether he was just having a little bit of a moment, you're dead right, there's the Mazda into pit lane, whether he was having a little moment coming through Roberts, but he was twitching the front end a little bit, so whether or not he's either got a little steering problem or he thinks he may have just picked up a little bit of kitty litter or something.